I'm Corinne Lawrence.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gallagher.
Welcome to Burke Ward 1995,
the year of our centenary.
Oh, no, stop.
Today is Monday, the 11th of September, 1995. Week 9 Education.
First of all, we'll be having a look at Burke Ward's school grounds in 1995.
Wrong.
Keep going.
Now we're standing in between the upper primary and the lower primary.
The area that you can see between you, or in front of you, is the area where a site and census garden is going to be built later on this year. We put in a submission through the Lead Centre and hoping to hear back from that shortly. So in 25 years, hopefully that site and census garden is still there and looking great, covering up a bare area. Lots of work's been done on the gardens over the last couple of years, as you can see.
Now you can see is 4R, my classroom, and Mr. Fisher's classroom.
We're standing in the top primary playground, the teachers' cars, the integration unit bus, new playground equipment that went in last year, and in front of you you can see what used to be the Barrier School, and Barrier was broken up last year and those children were put into the mainstream primary and secondary schools around town. And we have a support unit here at school, and that building was erected last year. And there is the upper primary classrooms, and of course one way that our children got to school in 1995 was by push bike.
Here we are in the infants' playground, standing in front of the infants' buildings.
We have Year 2 classrooms, kinder classrooms in the double-storey building at the back, and the remaining infants' classrooms in the large building in front of you. The other side is the administration building and a satellite dish that was erected earlier this year. A lot of work was done leading up to the centenary, trying to get the grasses green. Not always an easy job with children who love to play on the grass. And the infants' playground equipment that was put up last year as well.
Now we're taking you up to the administration building or the office.
Let's go. Thank you, girls. And here we have two hard workers who are being put right on the spot. We have Chris Cadd, our wonderful, wonderful secretary, and Mrs. Robin McKean, our wonderful, wonderful principal. Say hi to the year 2005, ladies.
Well, we hope we'll be around to say hi in person. We certainly do.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. Now go.
Here we are in Mrs. Jan Mackenzie's classroom, and there she is over there, and she's got a big smile on her face because she retires at the end of the year. And this is her wonderful class 1M. Don't they all look beautiful? And notice all those nice clean desks.
Writing stories.
Thank you all, 1M. Would you like to all give the camera a wave? And you'll see this in 25 years. Wave to the camera. Thank you, Mrs. Mackenzie.
Thank you very much.
Here we have the infants' art room.
And the infants' courtyard.
Are in the support unit. At the moment, we have some Year 1 students in here having a bit of interaction with some of the support unit children. There's Sue Minnis, the coordinator. The unit is very well decked out with its own telephone, computer of course, but there are computers in all classrooms in 1995. Uh, 3-4F with Michael Fisher and his wonderful class. Very creative, colourful classroom. I'd like to all give the camera a wave. And you'll be seeing this in the year. What year will it be?
2020.
Right. The annual Barrier Athletics Carnival that's held out at the Zinc Oval each year in Education Week, and the race you're about to see run is the final of the 12-13 years boys 100 metres, and we have two runners in this. See if you can spot who they are. Both doing very well. Luke Bauman and Ben Fobister. Here you can see the crowd at the carnival. The site, teachers actually paying attention, looking very alert. Faithful recorders, what would we do without them? Now, as I've told these ladies, by the year 2020, their names will be in the history books. We have Rosemary Clark and the wonderful Robin Rawlins. It's a final for the 200 metres with a Berkey Heidi Couture out in front. Oh, close. Oh, just tipped at the post. 11 years boys final of the 200 metres with Ronald Patterson in the red. This is Ronald's race. He should hopefully do well here. Fourth place to Ronald. 12, 13 years boys, 200 metres with Luke Bauman.
Come on, Luke.
It's on you already.
Final of the junior girls relay with Alicia McInerney just about to hand over to Rebecca Simmers. What a change. Watch this changeover.
My mum's coming if you want to go, you can. You can. I'm just going now.
Jodie Dean. And Speedy Gonzalez, Fiona Hart. But unfortunately not speedy enough. Senior boys, and we have a winner. Look at him go. Here we have the infant choir. Standing just in front of the junior primary classrooms down near the hall and canteen, looking out over Siebler Park, which was or is our oval. Hopefully in the year that you are watching this, you'll see or notice a few changes, hopefully some more trees planted over there. There you can see the sign advertising our centenary in the year 1995. Now I'm just zooming around, showing the garden beds just in front of the hall. And there's the junior classrooms of the primary. We're in 4O classroom, and our current teacher is, even though she doesn't really want to be on video, is Mrs. Bev Gimbert, who is on Mrs. O'Malley, Sue O'Malley's maternity leave for the remainder of 1995. Here you can see her class are playing games that they have made on the theme of Australian explorers. Zoom in on a few of these faces. And here in the primary staff room I have stumbled upon a P&C meeting. Look at all these hard-working ladies making things. Oh, and there's Pat Kennedy.
Got her mouth so
The mouth of Burke Ward. We'll censor that one, Pat. And possibly what the table decorations would have looked like at our centenary dinner.
Let me show you how it's going to be eaten.
Oh, no thanks. We'll censor that too. Here's our kitchen facilities. And the teacher's resource room. A lot of updating in 1995 for especially reading materials to do with literature-based reading, and a lot of teacher resource books and children's books, but the children's books are kept down in the junior primary storeroom. We have Mrs. Eileen Crowhurst working hard away. Go away, Lily. Making some more supplies from government stores, and this is her little office where she photocopies away all day, keeping us all under control and in stencils. And I think, Eileen, you've been one of the longest serving members at Burke Ward?
Yeah, 23 years.
23 years. Year 2 practicing their flag drill for the centenary celebrations under the instruction of Mr. Ross Clark, who is a new teacher at our school this year. We have Katie Staker making her way down to the library. Katie is an integrated blind student in our class, or in our school. Katie's at the moment in Year 6 and has been at Burke Ward quite a number of years, and you can see that she's getting used to using her white stick to help her find her way around the school. Thursday, the last week of term 3, or second last day, sorry, and we are celebrating a bike week. And here you can see children from my class, 4R, and Michael Fisher's class from 3-4F, partaking in some bike week activities. At the moment they're doing a bike check, and the children have paired up, those that didn't bring bikes today, and they have a checklist, and using their checklist they are finding out just how sound their bike is. Today is Friday, the last day of term in term 3, and here you can see we are Friday morning playing Friday morning sport, school sport, and in front of you you have Year 3 children playing a game called Bomb, much the same as volleyball. And here we have Year 5 boys playing cricket, which I'm sure won't have changed too much by the year 2020. Here we have Year 4 girls practicing some netball skills. In the year 1995, the Australian netball team was extremely successful in their overseas bouts. The break for sport. Here we are at the infants' assembly.
We made stories about the show. On Saturday, I went to the Broken Hill show. My mum and I went on the charge hunt in the ghost house in the ghost carrier. I saw the fireworks. Everyone hates people talking about the show. On Saturday night, I went to the Broken Hill show and I went with Kerry and my mum.
Mackenzie is now reading children out from the Golden Book, and the Golden Book contains those children who have done wonderful things during the week.
And there is a lovely picture in the Golden Book this week, and we're going to do artists this week. Mrs. Williams is our artist this week for this beautiful. It's a really great picture, and she just drew that as she clever. These wonderful people here, you know what I've done? Two people said to me this morning, "Are you sure you've got the cards for the Golden Book?" And I said, "Yes, here they are in my hand." You know what I've done? I've put them down somewhere, so I'll have to come and see you all day and give you cards. But we can still give you a clap.
We are back to primary school sport, and I'm standing on our flat or our oval looking at a combination of Year 3 boys and Year 6 boys playing a game of continuous cricket. Here's over in the far corner, Year 6 girls, I think, playing a game of what looks like T-ball, softball. As you can see, our oval is very green at the moment. It's a combination of clover and grass. The clover obviously doing very well. At the end of last year and the beginning of this year, we saw our oval being hooked up to the water system that waters the golf club. So we have a continuous supply of water, hence the reason why our oval is looking so green and well kept at the moment. And those sprinklers come on twice a week, I think, during night. Also on our oval, at the present time, we do have a bubbler system, but it doesn't work, unfortunately, due to vandals. And that is on the other side of the shed. You can also see the cricket pitches, which are used quite a bit by our boys and also by other town groups, and our tennis court, which unfortunately isn't always in action, more times than not being in action. And then looking across from the flat over to school. In the distance you can see Ron Ferguson, who is our cleaner at Burke Ward in 1995, and the noise you can hear that machine making, that is in fact vacuum cleaner that he uses to go around the school to collect all the leaves. We'll just go and have a zoom in on that one. Sure, it'll be very interesting to see how different the equipment is that we were able to use in 1995 compared to the year 220. And over on the flat today you can see that we have some sort of cricket coaching clinic, not with children from our school but children from another school using our oval. We have 3B and their teacher at the moment is Miss Christy Whitney, who at the moment is on or releasing Mrs. Julianne Highwood from her maternity leave. At the moment 3B are doing some spelling activities in a very colourful classroom, and of course not camera shy. We are in my classroom, 4R. At the moment, the children are working in groups, and what we've done is photocopied and coloured in a whole heap of pictures. Just move that sheet, fellas. And what we've done is we've coloured in and made a list of pictures from 1895 and then pictures of 1995, and the children are in groups going around to these different categories and trying to work out how life was different in 1895 to now. And of course, as they rotate around, they're not allowed to add the same things to the list. So it's really quite an interesting little activity. It's working quite well in groups at the moment. Up the back of our classroom you can see our dinosaur mural that we've been working on for most of the term. We're all very proud of. And of course our dinosaur mobiles, also our dinosaur plasticine models, and our fossils. So can you just hold up a fossil? Right, that's right. Made from plaster of Paris. Thanks, Sam. But heading out to Silverton, and the reason we're going out to Silverton, Mr. Fisher and my class are heading out for an excursion to have a look at the old Silverton jail and find out what life was like 100 years ago. Excuse the camera shooting, as of course the old road out to Silverton in 1995 wasn't real smooth, and I dare say in the year 220 that it won't have been much better. Zoom around and have a look at the kids. We are in the Silverton jail, just about ready to leave, and the children have been working on a worksheet. And here's Mrs. Julie Baldwin with her gorgeous baby Lou. This is the school centenary one.
Oh, well.
I'm just going to have a hug of this baby.
Hi, Michael.
We are at the Silverton Hotel enjoying a light refreshment, having a can of soft drink in the beer garden. After a busy time at the Silverton jail. I gather someone's doing something rude behind my back. We'll flash in on who that was. Oh, he's running away from me. There's our bus driver, Hank. Oh, what a stunning figure of a man. In term 4, week 2, we were lucky enough to have Mr. David Tribe, who is the environmental ed consultant for the Department of Education, come out to Broken Hill. And here you can see him working with my maths group on an environmental maths exercise. What the children are doing, or have been asked to do, is in their groups work out how many different ways they can measure the circumference of a tree trunk.
Number 1's right here. All the number 2's right here. Number 3's over there. 3's. In the group, stay in the group. Number 4's, stay in the group.
now the afternoon of the same day, and we still have David Tribe at our school, but we're at the moment doing the Talented Children's program, and we've invited children from other schools, and what the children are doing is finding a problem that exists in our school playground and then trying to work out solutions to that problem. These girls over here have decided that the bike racks need to be moved because they're sitting in front of the seats. And I think these girls, that's right, these girls have decided that we should have less asphalt in the playground and more grass. That'll be an interesting one. And then this group of children have decided that there is far too much litter in the playground, and they're deciding on how that situation can be rectified. We are in 2-3D, and teacher of 2-3D is Mrs. Sudie Rose, trying to hide from the camera up there.
Yes, I am.
2-3D are at the moment working on some contracts to do with the 7 Little Australians. A nice bright classroom.
So next 20 on Wednesday afternoon.
And here we have a great display of early pictures, which the colouring that the children have done is great.
Reese, can you come out here and choose which colour you want?
Here we are in 560, and the teacher for at 560 is the assistant principal on the ground, Miss Helen O'Keefe, and in 1996 Helen is off to Canada to do or Canada or America, somewhere like that, to do a year's exchange teaching. At the moment, 560 are doing dust jackets for the book The 7 Little Australians. In the lead up to our centenary, lots of work was done looking at the then and the now and how life was so much different. A lot of English literature work was done, especially on the unit of the 7 Little Australians. There we see one of the new computers. It's an Apple Mac with a CD-ROM, one of the latest computers in 1995. Here we are in 2C, and the teacher of 2C, if I can find him, oh, he's hiding, there he is, is Mr. Ross Craven. Mr. Ross is a new body at Burke Ward this year. You can see them all fascinated by the camera. He's still hiding, is he?
Yep.
Should we go behind the door and flush him out?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you he's behind me now, is he?
Yep.
Oh, he's following me around. Oh, there he is. That nice fuzzy beard, grown especially for the centenary. We can't wait until it's over, can we, Miss? Mr. Craven. All right, thank you very much, 2C. Here we are in 2W, and teacher of 2W is Ms. Laurel Watson, our budding, one of our budding musicians at school. Here you can see that the children are shading in pictures of the past. Here we are upstairs in the infants department in K1's classroom, and the teacher of K1 at the moment is Leanne Willoughby, who is at the moment taking Mrs Anne Williams' place, who's on long service leave. A wonderful classroom up the top with heaps of space. All decked out.
They were good friends, and one warm sunny morning, for no particular reason, they decided to go for a row in the bay. Do you know who sank the boat? Was it the cow who almost fell in when she tilted the boat and made such a din? No, it wasn't the cow who almost fell in. Do you know who sank the boat? Was it the donkey
In 6W, and Miss Rachel Wagland, who is pregnant at the moment, is the teacher, and they're playing a very interesting spelling game.
Okay, we won't go. Adam's in C. We're going to adjust it. Okay.
Judge versus
When you come out to the board to spell your word, this is what I want you to do. Wait for these two people to sit down. I want you to walk up to the video camera that Mrs. Robbins has in her hands and tell her that she's the most fantastic, wonderful person.
Oh, do it.
And that you would love to do her washing for a whole year. When you have done that, I want you to come out to the board and spell the words. And I'll make it very easy so finally get 40 points. Spell the word guilty. Go.
What do you washing for a year?
I'd want to washing for a year.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. And as your delightful little prize for this evening, each person on our centre of humbug before you go out.
Here we are in 1H, and the teacher of 1H is Miss Jo Hennessy. And Jo is a new school teacher at Burke this year. And at the moment, children are doing a language stencil. In 1995, in K1G, which is a combination of Tinder and first class, and teacher for today is Miss Mari Robinson, who at this stage in time is engaged to Michael Fisher, and they are going to be married in the long weekend in 1996. Kerry Gallagher is usually teacher of this class, but is away today, and they are doing a spelling stencil. Here we are in K2 classroom, and teacher of K2 is Mrs. Rosalie Jenkins.
It's all about war and
And they're writing stories about what they did on the weekend. You can see the children lined up for the conference. And there's one little fellow dressed up in his centenary gear. We are in the middle art room in the infants building, and you can see from the tape earlier on that a lot of work has gone into making up a display in the art room to celebrate our centenary. And moving around, we'll just go into the corridor, and you can see that in an attempt to keep everything neat, children put their bags, hats and coats on hooks. And of course the corridors were always, not just for the centenary, but were always very creatively decorated with children's work. Here we are in the senior art room in the primary department, and once again you can see that it has been especially cleaned up and decorated for our centenary, once again displaying work from Year 5 and 6 children. Oh, there we have a kiln that was used during the year of 1995. We've had that kiln for probably 5 years, I suppose, and it was used not only by classroom teachers but also by teachers taking interest groups on a Friday, and those interest groups were held when children went to PWSA, and that would be for all of Friday morning from 9 till 11, and interest groups went from 10 till 11, and those children that went in interest groups were the ones that didn't go away for PWSA, and they'd have an hour of school sport before then. We are in Mr. Steve DeRoe's classroom, and at the moment these children are doing maths. Now the reason this class is so small is because in 1995 we had streaming of maths between the primary students. Years 3 and 4 was streamed on ability grouping, and so was Year 5 and 6. In Mr. Peter O'Malley's classroom, and these children are also doing maths. We have to get him on videotape. Oh, we'll get him later on, don't you worry, when he's not watching. In the junior art room, Years 3 and 4 use this art room, and as you can see, once again, a lot of work has been gone into making this a colourful, decorative room showing off children's work from throughout the year. And over in the corner we have 2 rooms This room here was, as I mentioned before, a storeroom which was used in 1995 to store all English language work, books, etc. And up in those crates are all the literature-based books that we did contracts on in 1995. All the old YAR books, which are no longer being used as a set class text. In 1995 we also purchased a new PA system, and there are the speakers. And in this storeroom, this is where all the science and maths gear is stored. A lot of work. New syllabus for maths came out probably in about the year 1993, I think it was, 1992, 93, and over the last couple of years we've spent a lot of money on updating our resources to go with that document. We are in the wonderful Miss Vicky Crowhurst
Then you
classroom.
go across and write these numbers: 36, 27, 52, 305, 240, 301. Okay, you get stuff. Just pop
Always
your
very
hand up.
colourful, creative.
You're just going to write.
Vicky is our executive teacher in 1995 and also our literacy and numeracy teacher. And here you can see her working with some year 5 and 6 students with their maths.
That first box, leave that empty, then write the numbers I will deposit. Show me where 7 centimetres is. On the top, 7 centimetres. I want you to do that 4 times.
I'm down in the hall now, and the hall was set up during our centenary week with a whole heap of static displays. A lot of photos were brought in the months leading up to the centenary, and as many names as possible were put underneath those photos. And here you can see it's Monday of the week of our centenary celebrations, and we're having a morning tea in the hall for anybody who would like to come along. You can see it's proved to be quite popular. There's the maypole, which will be used on Wednesday. And part of the centenary committee, Robin Keane and Kay West. Tuesday of our week of the centenary, and you can see some children have actually turned up to school in the old-fashioned way by horse and buggy. And if we zoom around, you can see the marquee going up for the luncheon. And here we see Angela Winders, who arrived by horse and buggy today.
Just taking it down the infants round. Just drop it across the top. No, stay, Miss Roberts. You take after your brother. You know that? She got you.
there's Mr. Fisher, all done up in his garb. In front of my classroom and Mr. Fisher's classroom, and just about everybody has made an effort to dress up in their costumes today. Really, really proud of them, and they do look marvellous. Silence! Goodness me, Mr. Fisher, is this going to last all day?
I hope this continues. They don't have a smile in photos in those days. Very rarely.
Now, I want to have a special viewing. Tyson, come out here and give us a special look of yours. Tyson's made a really wonderful effort. Doesn't he look wonderful? That's great. All right, give the camera a wave. We have our release teacher, Mrs. Rosemary Anderson, who has a Year 6 class, and she is doing old-fashioned games with the children at the moment. Playing a jelly bean relay race, I think it is. Egg and spoon.
Remember, check the left feet behind the line. Ready, set, go.
And what these children had to do as a pre-lesson to this activity was to, in fact, make up rules for old-fashioned games, and then they had the chance to play them today. Here we see some typically dressed young laddies who are doing a job at the moment of painting a circle for folk dancing, which is to be held later in the week. Aren't they charming? You can see Mrs. Sue Minnis all dressed up in her 1895 costume. At the moment we're up in the infants' playground, and you can see that the children have really made a big effort. Just about everyone in the whole school is dressed up today. The feeling around the place is amazing. It really feels like you've stepped back in time. There you can see one of the canteen mothers, Mrs. Young's, even dressed up for the occasion. And if we zip into the courtyard, we can see some ladies that look just wonderful.
She's not tasing us. Yes, she is.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Yes, we're very gorgeous, aren't we? Won't take us now? They call me gorgeous.
With one little lassie with just the most beautiful dress. Just lift up the, yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? Turn around the back, lovey. The bow at the back. And what's your name, sweetheart? Amy who? And can we have a look at the front of your dress with it all pulled down? Who made your dress, sweetie? Who made your dress?
Only Rita made the apron and the hat, but not the dress. My mum just bought it.
Oh, right. Thank you very much, Amy. Another one? they gorgeous? There's robins on duty in the playground, in a typical dress of the era. Mr. Craven with his lovely long sideburns. Miss Watson, very elegant. How do you stop it?
Just press the pause again.
Here we are at primary assembly. See Mr. Fisher trying to assert his authority. There's Mrs. McKean, Mrs. Crowhurst.
Much better. Eddie.
Now, anybody that wasn't paying attention, they'd be asked to call out for the assembly and they would probably stand just waiting for that cane.
Mrs. Gimbert.
Now I'm Mrs. those people.
Yes, of course.
William, you're out of line, up here.
Miss O'Keefe trying to be all bossy. Oh no, William's going to get the cane.
Straight in line, so he would have probably been given the cane. Let's see how we do it. He had to put his hand down.
William's going to get the cane.
Then the headmaster would take a big wide swing from way back behind him. Don't actually hit him.
We want to hear screams of pain, William.
Then William would be carried back to his line. She would have heard. Shall we have a few announcements? Your black box, they had
We have on camera Mr. O'Malley and one of our past teachers, Ratbag Mr. Bruce Flibry. We've got him. Oh no, he's coming to get me. On Tuesday, in the week of our centenary, a luncheon was held in the lower playground down near the hall, which was an overwhelming success. Apparently 200 tickets were sold prior to the event, and then another 50 had to be printed off, and they sold like hotcakes, and then another 50 were printed off yesterday afternoon, and the caterers ended up saying no more, we can't cater for any more people. So a great start to the week. The hall has been absolutely jam-packed with people all day. Yesterday I found out with the morning tea in the hall, they were quite overwhelmed once again with the number of people that turned up to that. They just thought it would be a very impromptu thing, and we're quite pleased with the number of people that turned up. Might just take a zoom around the crowd. The weather has in fact turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. We've had our fingers crossed since Friday because according to the news last night we had a cold snap on Friday which has lasted up until, well, early this morning, and it was such a cold front that it was actually quoted on the news last night that this sort of thing only occurs every 100 years. What happened Thursday afternoon or Thursday was an extremely hot, blowy, gusty, horrible day of 35 degrees, and then we had a cool change Friday, and Friday was absolutely freezing, sleety, rainy, and reached 12 degrees. And then Saturday was one of the coldest days on record, supposedly, all of 6 degrees, and it really hasn't been much warmer than that Sunday and Monday. And today began this morning looking quite overcast, but they assured us it was going to pine up, and this afternoon it's an absolutely glorious day, as you can see. Slight breeze, but perfect conditions for our luncheon. Gorgeous couple. What are your names?
Tamara and Jamie.
Thank you, Tamara and Jamie. Okay, it's lunchtime on Tuesday. You just see some of the primary students and their outfits. There's a band uniform. The band are going to be performing at the luncheon later on this afternoon. Some girls braving the equipment in their long dresses. It's quite strange to see old-fashioned clothes on modern equipment. You'd really wonder what those boys were collaborating. Oh, 3 rat bags. The sports room in 1995 was through that doorway, which you can see. The end building was enclosed and all the sports equipment was kept inside. There you can see Mrs. Ann Williams, who was on long service leave last week. Currently the teacher of kindergarten. Here we have the staff of 1995, or some of them, eating their lunch, recuperating after a hard morning's work. All dressed up in their garb. Primary Choir performing for the luncheon on Tuesday.
Now if you run into a 5'2" covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, I bet your life it isn't her. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my girl? 5'2", eyes of blue, but oh, what those 5 foot could do. Has anybody seen my girl? Turned up nose, turned down nose, never had no other clothes. Has anybody seen my girl? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, I bet your life it isn't her.
And it's Wednesday of our centenary week, and you can see the crowd that has gathered to watch the display by the primary school, or the whole school students, and this will be getting underway very soon. We don't do that. Celebration, Mr. Bob Clark, who was deputy principal in the primary for many years, was our master of ceremony.
Don't point at who's standing out over there. Come and see me in a minute, boy. Now, young Mrs. McKee, she does speak very well. That's years of good training and good business. I believe there's a young Mr. Coogan is here. I hope he's not getting into the fire of the watermelons anymore.
First item on the agenda for today is the band, the present school band, which of course are all dressed up in their olden day clothes. And the band in 1995 was orchestrated by Rachel Wagland, who's sitting there looking very proud of them all. Playing the school song. Kindergarten doing their funky monkey dance. Oh, they are. Look at this one here.
Turn around and do the funky monkey, yeah. He likes to eat yellow bananas from his favorite tree in the Bahamas. They make him strong and very friendly. He likes to do a dance called the Banana Monday. There ain't no monkey more funky than the funky monkey, yeah.
have year 1 doing the funky monkey.
6 and 7 will master the tricks, and 8's and up will dig the mix. Walking on the spot, walking on the spot, walking on the spot, let's walking on the spot. Shake those hands up high, shake those hands down low, shake those hands up high, shake those hands down low. Walk around in circles, walk back the other way. Walk around in circles, walk back the other way. Swaying side to side, 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 walking on the spot. Okay kids, we're going to do a dinosaur, a dog, a cow, a duck, a bird and a tree. Let's go. Crouch down low and do the dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Stand up high and bark like a dog. Crouch down low and moo like a cat. Moo, moo, moo. Stand up high and quack like a duck. Quack, quack, quack. Spread your wings and fly like a bird. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Bend and sway like a tree in the wind. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Hop, 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 stop, freeze.
Here we have year 2 doing the dinosaur. Presentation has just been made to Mrs. Tanya Oliver, who played a fairly important role in teaching the infants' children those dances.
These are the teachers who spent a lot of time helping the infant children to gain a first place in the Stedford.
Rosalie Jenkins and Laurel Watson have just been presented with some flowers to say thank you for their efforts with the junior choir, which last week came first and second at the Stedford.
Ms. Watson will have to watch her son who is involved in dipping that on.
Centre stage we have the old boys school scholar band.
What is it?
With a few of our original Burkies.
It is a great privilege for me and a pleasure to be here for the centenary celebrations of Burke Ward School this week. I am very pleased to be able to make a presentation to the school. This is a little donation. And with this, I bring memories of my own mother and my father, who both attended Burke Ward School in the very early years of this century. My mother, Clara, was born in Silverton, and you know where Silverton is. 100 years ago this year. My father, Clem, was born at Burra in South Australia 100 years ago this year. So this year is not only the centenary of Burke Ward Public School, but also the centenary year of their births. They attended Burke Ward School, so did I, and my brother, and several of aunts, uncles, and cousins. I'll now ask the school captains to receive this small gift to be part of your equipment to be used in school and perhaps out of school in the years to come. Kendall and Brent, please accept this camera as school equipment as part of your centenary celebration.
Here we have Year 3 who are going to do the old folk dance of green sleeves. Here we have Year 4 with their Strip the Willow.